Welcome back, welcome back. Meet me on the 50, y'all. Why the audio so low, man? Hey, tonight's a special show. Typically on Tuesdays we do I keep messing up the name. I keep doing the Meet the Medias on Tuesdays, but tonight, man, I got a special man that I'm gonna bring on the line today. My father, Eddie Sr. I'm Eddie the Second. That's Eddie the First right there, man. So, yeah. Real special dude right here. I think y'all gonna like him. He's meant for the camera, in my opinion. Let him tell you himself, though. Let me go and get him on real quick, man. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that red button. Subscribe. Stick around, man. We're gonna be doing more stuff like this. Let me go and get him on the phone. Hey, y'all, Bambo continues after this at 9 o'clock, so don't go too far. Skype running real slow. Hey, the Cash App Name That Song contest will continue tonight during Bambo, man. So you better have your thinking caps on, cause I'm doing 4 rounds. Alright, here we go. I found his number on Skype. Let me go ahead and get him on.
Hey, son.
What's happening, Dad? Hey, you can hear me good?
I can hear you real well, man. Is there enough light?
Man, you like you in the studio.
It is?
Look like you in the studio, I said. Like you got a little green screen back there.
No, that's your green screen. Now, you know that's our curtains back here in the back. What's going on?
Let me make sure. I just got you on here live now. You live now. Let me make sure they can see you good and everything. Hold on.
All right. Is there enough light in here, or?
Let me make sure. I just got you on here live. Yeah, everybody can see you good. I see you good too.
All right. Am I close enough?
You good. You good. Hey, Erica on here.
Hey, baby. Uh-oh. This is my debut, huh?
I just said you meant for the camera. So yeah, look. Don't try to steal my show from me, Dad.
All right. Yep.
All right, so we might as well go ahead and get into it. So who your favorite child?
Oh, man, don't start, Eddie. No, so you should have prompted me with these questions. See that? I don't have any favorites. You know that.
All right, so silence is consent. So we go ahead and there's no other answer except for Eddie that we going to accept, man.
Erica, you heard that, right? You heard that, right, baby?
Is he on there? Hey, Trevor on there, too.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. You better tell everybody who that is. Those my other kids.
Hey, Trevor Evans. Look, they got their last name. They got the whole government. Erica Evans, Trevor Evans. Look, we in here represent. Evans is deep in here, man. Hey, y'all, meet me on the 50 family. This is how do I introduce this man right here? This is the man who taught me everything I know. I mean, Google had a lot to do with that. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, but outside of Google. This is Eddie. This is Mr. Meet Me on the 50 Senior right here. Go ahead and tell him a little bit about like where you from, Dad. I mean, I know all this information, but let's act like you know, I don't know anything.
All right. Hey, first of all, hello everyone. And before I say that, Eddie, let me just do one thing. A friend of mine just told me, so tell all your people out there. Hopefully, they have and I want to ask you guys too, the smoke alarm and the carbon monoxide alarm. All right. So do a shout out to all your folks to make sure that that's no joke. All right, make sure they have that carbon monoxide part of their smoke alarm.
What happened? Something happened?
Yeah. Chick said she had a leak down. My niece, you guys, she had a leak from her furnace. Furnace was only like 6 years old, and she started getting headaches, and they called, and the fireman came and got him out the house immediately. That just happened last week, and they had a carbon monoxide leak. So it could have been a lot worse. So you guys have one, Eddie?
I'm sure. Look, I think we have one, but actually, no, we do have one. The not ADT. What's the other security system we use? They give you one for free. So yeah, I got one in here.
All right, you guys. I got some extra ones here. So
all right, so look, leave your address in the thing. We gonna get you a carbon monoxide system. All right.
All right. I'm sorry, I got distracted, you guys. I'm Eddie's dad, Eddie Senior. I'm from Washington D.C. I'm a Washingtonian. I'm a big Redskin fan. What else?
You gotta say more than that with the Redskin. You gotta say hell to the what?
No. I'm not feeling that this year. We didn't do well. We didn't do too well. But guess what? A lot of people were sitting on the couch with us watching the playoffs, right?
NFC East.
You know, a lot of people were watching. Yep. So, what else? I think that's about it. And I don't know if Eddie told you about my family here. I'm sitting here in the family room. My son asked me about, and I don't know why, but he asked me to be on this show, but I'm more than happy to. So hopefully, I wish you'd have kind of preempted me on some of what we're going to speak about.
No, it takes away from the spontaneity. How you say that word? Spontaneity?
Yes.
Okay, something like that. So I mean, we gonna try to keep.
Am I too close, or do I move closer to my phone, or am I okay here, or
whatever you want to do? Are you in the living room or in the? Where you at?
I'm in the family room.
Oh, I see the couch behind you. Okay. Yeah. I gotta make sure. I gotta get you a meet me on the 50 shirt, Dad.
Okay. All right.
Get you a shirt next time. But
So I gotta answer the Cash App question or what before I can get a shirt.
You want to hear it? You gonna try to guess the band? Okay, hold on. No, I ain't got.
I've seen you tough. You give 3 notes, but you are tough.
Oh, and look, they get it though. I don't know how they get it. They get it.
Yeah, you are tough.
So what was it like having me in the household? I mean, I didn't really stop. I picked up the saxophone in what, 3rd grade? You got me my first saxophone in the 3rd grade.
Yeah, very, very early. And you were committed, very committed. And one thing I tell your audience, one thing about this young man, once he puts his mind to something and he has a passion for it, he'll do it. As he is here on this show. He's definitely not doing it for profit. I mean, because he's just enthused about music and what he does and giving back. So, but he's been doing that since the 3rd grade, ever since he's been playing that sax, being a drum major in high school, the high stepping, and I know I'm going to sound like a real proud parent, but that's what he did. And that's what me and my wife, we just followed him throughout his whole career. That's it. And still following him.
So, I mean, once the band, like the drum major stuff started and I got really heavy into marching bands, I played a whole lot of marching band tapes in the house. A whole lot. Now, back then, on a scale of 1 to 10, how annoying was that? Because I never really asked y'all. I didn't really care too much. I played my band tapes, in the living room. I mean, in the den all the time. Remember the VHS tapes?
Yes.
And y'all heard that a lot, right? Because there wasn't no headphones. It was off the TV, What was that? What was that like hearing this kid always playing these marching bands all the time?
Well, I didn't think you were that serious about it until you did it, and you did it almost all the time. So it wasn't annoying to us. I don't know about your brothers and sisters, but we enjoyed it. But you knew what the time. Well, you knew what time it was when it was Sundays and football or sports. Unlike now, we have how many TVs in the house, and we had one in the family room in the basement, right, and in my bedroom. Yeah. So, but no, it wasn't annoying at all, though, son. It wasn't.
So you were born and raised in D.C., right? So this is back in, I guess, when you were a teenager. You were what? What year was that? Like 70?
74, 75. I graduated in 77 in high school.
So back then, you know, Washington D.C. Obviously, I'm preaching to the choir. That used to be marching bands and a parade and all that stuff. They used to be real big in D.C. That was one of the you can compare that to one of like the New Orleans or something like that. But D.C. had a lot of marching bands. So
yeah, it was a treat to be able, like, I was a patrolman, so I don't know if you know, like, we sat there on the corner and allowed our classmates to go and cross the street. But anyway, we would drill with some of our band members, and we would compete to get to the parade. So they would have an annual parade.
I never knew that.
Yep, elementaries, junior highs, and high schools. So band was really, really huge back then. But you know, then again, I don't know how heavy they are into band now, but you know, it was a pleasure to go to DC public schools back then. You felt proud to go to DC public schools.
What do you think about the whole, I guess, the change of landscape in DC? You know, with the gentrification, a lot of that culture is leaving DC. Like, how does that make you feel?
Now, son, I don't know how deep you want me to get into that, but
we ain't gonna hold you too long. But I mean, give me a quick, you know.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are blindsided, even to this day. I don't know if you guys knew, but you know, we lived in D.C., which is now considered Capitol Hill. And the same thing happened to us. Apparently, it's still happening. My mom sold her house back then for like $32,000, and it wasn't considered Capitol Hill. But they had a plan, you know, and the plan was to make it Capitol Hill. And now that same home that we grew up in Northeast is well over $1 million. And it continues on now, just stretching out throughout the whole area of Washington D.C. now.
Yeah, I never knew that. I told y'all were living in what was what's called Capitol Hill now. What was it called back then?
Northeast.
Just Northeast.
And Southeast D.C., right, absolutely. It was the hood, you know, it was the neighborhood. It was a nice older house, attached, like a 3-story house. But it wasn't really much to say. I mean, it wasn't like the suburbs or anything like that, but they had a plan and how they was going to convert that, though. And it seems like they're carrying through on that plan.
Yeah. So you never played an instrument, did you? So if you had to pick an instrument that you would have played, what you?
No, I did play an instrument. I played a flute.
When you played a flute?
Yeah. We all had to in Lovejoy Elementary School in Washington D.C. We all had to play take a music class.
What?
We had to play an instrument with those little black plastic flutes.
The plastic one? Was it the one that stick out or the one that stay out like this?
No. It was the ones that stuck directly out, and they were plastic.
You played the recorder. That's called the recorder. And it's funny because you're not. I wonder why they call it that, because you're not recording nothing, but it's called the recorder.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's.
Look, I don't know if people want to hear about me playing that.
Yes, we do. Now you know why? Because people want to, see. You know where I came from, and I mean beyond that, it's not really a show.
Well, you know
what?
See, so I'm gonna take some of the credit there. Well, maybe you did. Maybe that's where you got some of your music background from, your music DNA.
Yeah, you know, because I can sing like a mug. I must have got that from you too, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know what though, son? That's one thing I tell Mom all the time. I just wish I can open my mouth and something beautiful will come out. I mean, that's what's one thing about music. And, you know, people say it's an international language, but just the God-given talent when somebody can play an instrument and it just speaks to you, or when somebody opens their mouth. And, you know, at first I was thinking, man, what in the heck? And you all into this music and so excited and enthused about it until we start actually seeing you guys and how you used to coordinate there at Parkdale without even you didn't even have uniforms, but just to see it all coming together and the music and how it came out, it was just it's just a beautiful language. That's all, a beautiful language. To this day, it's still good. It's just still good hearing some of the bands play when I chime into your channel sometimes, and even these battles, I just didn't know some of these bands sounded. I mean, I'm not
Go
going
ahead
to
and name
say.
some names. Go ahead and name some names. Who you like?
Well, definitely Southern. All right, I like Southern. I like A&T. You know, I was biased toward Morgan, but I hate to say it though, son. Some of these, you guys couldn't stand up to some of these bands that I'm seeing.
All right, let me go to the next question. Next question.
No, you guys were good. I mean, yeah, and you know, we enjoyed watching that, especially after, like at Howard University, when you guys would play after the football game, because obviously the football game was so like not exciting, right? It was always about the battle of the bands, but I'm just looking at some of these bands now and just the how powerful they sound. And maybe you guys just didn't have enough. Your horns.
Yeah. It's definitely a more aggressive sound depending on the region of where you are in the country. Like they have the SWAC and they have the MEAC. I was in the MEAC.
Right.
There's some power in the MEAC as far as different bands, but it's a whole different animal when you go to the SWAC. The SWAC is that's the Southwestern Athletic Conference, so that's more so Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, things like that. So it's a whole different culture down there. They approach band a little different. So to change gears a little bit, I mean, I did want to talk music and band and all that, but today I had, I guess, the displeasure of having to attend a funeral. A buddy of mine that I had went to college with, he had passed away last week from bone cancer. And I guess it's just ironic because I had already planned to have you on here, but just seeing that today and seeing, he had 5 children, and from what I understand, he was a heck of a father, like while he was here, and it was just some parallel that I saw, because you have 5 children as well, right? And then your relationship with us is just as, you know what your relationship is like with us. So, I mean, just to get into that, you didn't have a father growing up. Well, you did, but he wasn't as close to you as you were to us. So just to kind of give a quick rundown, what was it that you think that made you want to be a better father than what you had growing up?
People say you can't be a good father unless you have examples or but I think what drove me was what I didn't have. I wanted to make sure my kids did have, right? So, no, I didn't have it. But one thing I always, put my hat on though, son, and I told you guys this, is just like, I just wanted to be able to show love and attention. No, I didn't have a dad. He left when I was 2. I got to know him when I was like 18 years old or something like that. And I couldn't even call him dad at that point. I take parenting serious, and I think, I'm watching you guys now, and because, I mean, I'm not saying anything for people that don't have kids, but I think, reproduction and the reason why God put us here is to be examples. And it's almost like a test, right? Just to see what kind of person you are. And the ultimate thing is being an example for your kids. So, no, I didn't have a guide per se, but I just wanted to make sure whatever I didn't have or didn't see or love or attention or like, as you know, I was an all-Met basketball player, not having no parents, especially a father to come see you play. So that's what, the fact that I didn't have that. So when you were at a band meet or Trevor was playing basketball or Erica was cheering or whatever, Tania's dancing or Edmund singing or something, I wanted to make sure if I had time to be there. And so that's what drove me to be a parent. I know I'm getting off on this tangent here, but that was my driving force, right? What I have, I wanted to make sure that my kids didn't experience the same thing. Right. Yeah. So. Right. And I'm sorry to hear about your buddy, man. I really am. How old was his kids?
Shoot, one, I want to say he's in high school. The other one may be a little younger than him. And he had a little baby. I think she would have been like 5 or 6. And then one maybe 9 or 10. So, they're old enough to know what's going on, Yeah.
Well, can I tell your audience a little story that you told me the other day about you get it, so to speak? So Eddie is a parent. Yeah, you guys, like, So Eddie just had a beautiful little daughter, and so he was over the house, I guess, a week or two ago, and we were downstairs, and he said, "Dad, you know, I think I get it now, man." He said, "You remember this?"
Go ahead.
You say this is what he told me, you guys, and I'm hopefully you guys will learn this. Some of you new parents that he said, "Nah, I didn't know why you wanted to touch us and be around us all the time," and just he didn't understand why. But now the fact that he's experiencing it, so he can see now what we felt the whole time. It's nothing like being a parent and want to just be in your kids' lives and share things, even if it's just sitting next to someone and sharing love. And if you see Eddie with my little baby, that's what he's doing. He's experiencing that. So
it's not only that though. I mean, it's like you know, we always told life is short, but it's like my buddy, he was my age, Dad. You know, he same exact age, man, and he lived with a passion for life. That's the best way to put it. He lived with a passion for life, as if he knew he was here for a limited amount of time. You know, and it's like when you talk about my daughter, it's like. I feel the same way sometimes. I feel like I got to get it all in as much as possible because you never know. Like you never know. I mean, she's not old enough to remember any of this stuff. I mean, she has an idea of who I am, but I think we go so hard like that. And I didn't really understand it when before I was a parent. I'm like, dang, y'all don't understand. My dad, he can be very affectionate. You know, he's hugging and everything. And I'm like, Dad, it's a lot. But I never really understood it, you know, until I had my own. So you can't
get off of his face now. Look, he always just
that's my baby right there. So you have sons and daughters, obviously. So what do you think? Like, what were some of the differences in your opinion as far as the approach to being a father to daughters versus sons?
You know, yeah, I think it's that it's still, unfortunately, it's a double standard. Your daughters you're going to treat differently. Than you would with your sons. I mean, your boys, you kind of feel like, look, you're going to show them the way, and hopefully, you know, you've done a great job and they can survive, right? Because it's all about making your boys men, you know, and being leaders. But the girls, it's a little different. For me, I was a little bit more protective and still am. But unfortunately, I have a very liberated young daughter, and she reminds me of these double standards are not fair. And I give you a good example about that. So when Eddie was in high school, right? So Eddie asked me one day, right before prom, he said, "Dad, can I tell this story about you wanting to go to prom and what you wanted to do after prom?"
Go ahead, Dad. I know where you're going with this. Go ahead, Dad.
So no, I'm just asking you the difference in
I don't even know. Okay, go ahead. I got to hear your side of the story because I don't even know. Let's see how much you know about this story right here.
All right. So how this went was he was ready to go to the prom. He asked me to get him a hotel room, right? So
to do what? Or just to get a hotel room?
Well, put it this way. I guess you sold me on the fact that, you know, just to be safe, and it would probably be good if I had a hotel room, and I'm all for it, right? Because as a dad, man, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, man, my son, I'm going to get him this hotel room. Now, thank God there's a wife, right? So my wife, I shared with her that, look, I think I'm going to get Eddie this hotel room for prom night. And Eddie had a nice girlfriend, man. Still is a nice girl, right, back there. So and my wife said, you know, that's not right. She said, how about Eddie's girlfriend? She has a father, and what would her father think about if she knew that you were getting them a room, right? And my wife posed to me, now my daughter Erica, she says, suppose Erica's going to prom and you heard somebody's getting a hold, how would you feel? You know, and then of course it changed my way of thinking. It's like, oh, that double standard. So obviously we didn't get the room, but I don't know if you remember. I don't know who's listening now, but I asked my brother to get
I was about to say, because I sure remember getting that room. I'm trying to think back. I got the room somehow. But so you mean this whole time, what Tanya? I know Tanya over there. What Tanya? She over there?
No, she's not. No, she's it's audit time. I think she's in the office doing some work. So
about to say, let me find out. I never knew Tanya was blocking. That was Tanya blocking the whole time.
She was. No, she was doing what she's supposed to be doing tomorrow. Yeah. You know, just like and it was a double standard. So
hey y'all, time.
Anyway, you asked me the question, so that's why you look at things differently. And I looked at, she
come
did
on,
hit.
come on, time. Come on, time.
Oh no, you don't want.
Come on, sit down.
You said you were blocking.
We getting into my prom story. I had no idea. So now we getting to the bottom of this whole. But nah, hey y'all, this is my beautiful other mom right here. This is Tanya. If she gets on the camera, she gonna get on?
Yeah, I don't know. Can she, Tanya? Oh, I think she's on the phone.
That's cool. I never knew that. Man. Yeah, I just asked all that, Dad. You know, because I never really we talk, but we never really get deep about stuff like that. And you know, something. We talk about time on this earth, man. Like today, it just kind of opened my eyes up to even more at that funeral. You know, we just don't know. You know, we just don't know how long we here for, and you gotta love as much as you can while you're here. You know,
right.
I mentioned on my live video earlier today because I had some things that I wanted to say at the service, but they had a time limit on the different people coming up there to present their pieces at the service. So I went ahead and just said mine on Facebook. But I just want to let you know that you are my hero. You know, you always have been. You know, I think I tried so hard to be so independent and not accept a lot of your teachings and things like that because I just felt like I can find my own way. But yeah, I wasted a good 10, 15 years doing that because half the time you knew what you were talking about most of the time.
Wow, Ed. Wow, I thank you, son. But it wasn't a waste, though, man. You know, man, you guys made me so proud, and whatever you've gone through and went through, it made you to who you are. And you as a parent, man, I tell all your audience is one thing I always wanted to say is I just want to be an example. You know, one of my prayers I say almost every day before I leave when I pray, not to get too down that road, but I always ask God, look, let me be an example for somebody, you know, because you never know who's looking at you, you know. And now as a parent, I know who's looking at me. You guys, you know, especially boys, would kind of do what they see their dads do, you know.
You ever think back over the years, like how many lives do you think you've touched? You ever think along those lines?
You know what? I really never sat and just thought about it, son. But you know, it's almost like I'm constantly reminded. You know, I see people I haven't seen. I've seen students and young people that I've dealt with back in the past, and they still remember me. You know, can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. Like for instance, at your baby's Christian, and I'm leaving the church, and somebody looked at me and said, "Mr. Evans, that's you?" And I can't remember faces. I mean, that was so long ago. But they just said, "Man, what an impact you had on our lives," right? But you know, but the point I was making was about being an example and kids. And I'm sure you guys have heard this story about. I smoked cigarettes from the time I was 14 years old, right? And I'm telling all these stories here, man, but I smoked for a long time, and I tried to do everything to stop smoking. I did the patch, I did the gum, I went to the Lung Association, seen cancerous lungs, cancerous everything, kidneys, livers, and smoked a cigarette, threw it in the trash can, threw a whole pack, went and got it back out. Long story short, Mom asked me not to smoke in the house anymore. So I had a little ashtray out on the porch. And your little brother, you know this story, Trevor was like 2 years old, year and a half. And the phone rang. And I went in the house to get the phone, obviously before cell phones, right, became popular. I came back out. Trevor had a little cigarette butt in his. He went in my ashtray and had a cigarette butt in his mouth, and I popped him in his lip. And I said, "Boy, get that thing out your mouth." And he just looked up at me, man, had tears in his eyes, and he said, "Dad, you smoke?" And it just hit me, man. It just said, I said, "Damn." I mean, it was like a moment. It's like, wow, this little boy going to do everything, and I got so upset with myself because I smacked him. And getting mad, but really he was just duplicating what he saw.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that?
That's the last day I smoked, man.
You know what's funny?
Now,
You know what's funny about that? I'm 15 years older than Trevor. So how old was he at that time? You think?
2. Trevor was 2 years old.
So I was 17. So I was 17 years old. Can I tell you now that I used to go out there and smoke the rest of your cigarettes too back then because I thought it was cool to do?
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. That you used to keep the ashtray out there and you didn't smoke all your cigarettes sometimes. So I go out there and I thought, man, shoot, my dad do it. You know, let me go ahead and see what this whole thing about.
Wow, Eddie, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Man, I'm glad you didn't pick that habit up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because me and your sister was talking about how fortunate we are that nobody, none of us smoke cigarettes, so I did not know that.
So it goes to tell you, man, everybody watching, kids are always watching. Kids are always, and if they respect you, they're going to think whatever you do is the right thing to do, So I wanted to smoke.
Yeah.
I never stuck. It never stuck with me.
What you were saying though, Eddie, as far as like it's short, so that's why I try not to. And you see me most of the time trying to be upbeat. It's life too short to be. And people say this as a cliche, but really, it's limited. And I'm gonna enjoy every day, And I think I've told everybody about this whole story. You just can't surround yourself with negative people, because it's too draining. It takes too much energy. That's why I watch you do your shows sometime, and people just don't know. Well, they do know. I'm telling them how passionate you are about what you do. I'll say this about you: you pick something up, and all of a sudden you just,
But it's funny though. It's funny though because it's not just a pick up thing. I think it's all been a transition. Like I mentioned, back to the '90s, back when it was just me on a couch watching endless amounts of tapes, and then getting into marching, and then getting into judging bands, and getting into different levels of marching. All of a sudden, it's like all that was just a culmination of what I do now. So it's like when I speak on stuff, I feel like I've put in the years and the know-how and the knowledge, that goes into being able to speak knowledgeably about a lot of this stuff. So I think that.
Well, not just that. I mean, look how many things that you do and that you do as a profession. But I know this is your passion, has been for a long time. So, obviously we are proud of you, what you do and what you give back. So I don't know what your community, your music community looks like, but they should know this, how passionate and how committed you are to this. Yeah. So, and you look good on camera too, man. I got to watch this more often.
I get that from my dad, y'all. I told you, man, you ready for the camera. Yeah, look, your T got the braces off and everything, Dad. You ready for the TV? You ready for big time?
Oh, they look good?
Yeah, they look straight.
They look good?
Yeah. Got them. And look, you ain't had to pay $20,000 like Steve Harvey either.
No, I didn't know he paid that, man. What? I did not know.
You had to pay for Steve Harvey too. Mm-hmm.
Now you gonna make me conscious. I was just up there grinning, but they look good though, huh?
Yeah, them joints straight. I gotta get. I don't like how mine turned out. I got to go to your dentist and find out what he did on yours. No,
you look impressive, man. So what's on the agenda for tonight now?
All right, so we gonna be on. 9 o'clock. We gonna start back up Bambo 2. So this is round 2, Dad. There are 8 bands left. So you mentioned Southern. So Southern's gonna play tonight. They're gonna face off against Talladega, which is a newer band. They came on the scene about 5 years ago. And in that short amount of time, they hanging with the big dogs. So it's Talladega versus Southern, and then North Carolina A&T versus Alabama A&M. So it's gonna be a couple hours. So it's kind of long, but
you cross conferences. Then you mentioned the SWAC and the MEAC. So okay.
So that's one of the things about Bambo is good because it creates opportunity for bands that normally wouldn't see each other. To see each other. It's almost like a virtual, almost a fantasy league, so to speak. A&T and Alabama A&M, I don't think they've ever met before. So it kind of gives the fans and gives the bands opportunity to kind of see bands they normally wouldn't see.
Wow. So you know what? Maybe one weekend or something, we can go down south to see that. I would love to see that. Yeah. Because you remember how one of our traditions where we used to watch the what was that show? And it was a football game, and we used to watch the halftime show. And it was
the Bayou Classic. The Bayou Classic.
Yes.
That's how I got into bands. When I first seen it came on NBC, and I seen this blue and gold band, this black and gold band. and they were doing things I ain't never seen before as far as marching band goes. I was so used to seeing the little, you know, the core style, the real tight, you know, the real corny look. I hate to say core style's corny. I'm not saying if you're a core style band, I got respect for you. It's just not my style that I prefer. But that's all I was used to, you know. So when I saw that, that was my introduction to HBCU band, and I was hooked ever since. Yeah, I didn't know you watched it too. Yeah,
we watch it together sometimes, man. Yeah, we would, and then we would record it. Yeah, so we can go back and look at it again. So
I got all them tapes in this closet right here. I got all them tapes still.
Okay. So have you ever showed the tapes of you marching and when you was a drum major?
Yeah, I got them on VHS, but converting them over, it's like the audio is messed up, so you can see it real good, but the sound is I don't know, distorted or something. So I can show the clip.
You gotta show the audience when y'all was stepping in, going, I forgot where, and you did a couple of side steps, man, and I looked at the band director and some of his assistants. They looked at each other like, woo. You know, it's like you did a crossover move in basketball or something, and somebody's like, woo, did you see that? But I don't know if you remember that part. You guys were watching it. You gotta show that.
I was drum major?
Huh?
Back in my drum major days?
Yeah. You were bringing the band in off the field, and y'all were going back into the music room, and then right before you was ready to get in, you did some kind of sidestep, and it was pretty good.
All right. I gotta find that, man. I gotta find that one, Dad. All right, y'all. Look. This is a quick introduction of my dad to y'all. He's gonna be on the show, you know, in the future again. Nothing really.
Well, I hope I didn't bore him to death, man. Believe me. Nah. If I did, I'm sorry, but it was a pleasure being on here, though, Eddie. It really was.
We had Super Bowl over his house the other day. My dad had a tall glass. So what you have in that cup, Dad?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
It'll be a long time.
Yeah, we he had some adult beverage, so we might need to pour up some cups, you know, the next time we get on and
well, you know, man, look, it's someone left a bottle over here, so if you ever come back over here, it's I think it's 2 whatever it is. Just like somebody left some beer here last Super Bowl and stayed here all year, right?
You said some 2. You ain't said no 211, I hope, did you? Still reserved.
I don't know.
I hope it ain't no 211 because I ain't messing with that. That's gasoline in a bottle right there.
I don't even know what 211 is, man.
No.
But yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
All right.
So, anything else you need to know? So we good or?
No, we good, Dad. Thanks for being on, man. I love you, Dad.
Love you too, man. Love you too. Proud of you, man. Yeah, I'm sure all your siblings are as well too, man. Keep it up. And don't forget, man. I threw it out there, and maybe we can plan a trip to go down south and see some of them bands live. I would love to be able to see that.
Yeah,
because when I see that you post here, man, it's just powerful. It's just some of them bands that's competing now. I might even watch it tonight.
It's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good night. I mean, check out a little bit. You know, if you can't watch the whole thing, it's gonna be uploaded so you can go back and watch, you know, the rest of it. But yeah, it's gonna be very exciting tonight. All these bands are gonna be good.
Well, you know, I'll be back at work next week, so the doctor cleared me. So I'll be on light duty. I forgot to tell you guys that. So my knee is healed enough where they can put me on light duty. So
my dad is so good at golf, man. You know how hard it is to injure yourself playing golf, y'all. That's how hard you go, man.
Yeah, well, you know, golf is my second wife, so I tell people that. Right? So, yeah. I wish we have time to play. All right, son. Look, if there's nothing else, it was a pleasure. It really was. Man, it was really a pleasure. So.
Yes, sir. Thanks for being on, Dad.
All right, buddy. I love you, man.
All right, love you too.
All right, see you.
All right. All right, man. Told y'all, man. My dad is awesome. Nothing more to say. That's Eddie Evans Sr. Meet me on the 50 Senior right there, man. I'm gonna have him on the show. I'm gonna try to get him in the studio next time so that we can do a band show together and watch the clips together and all that, man. So thanks y'all for tuning in to it wasn't Meet the Media, this was just Meet the Parent, chopping it up with my dad, man. If you got kids, make sure you in their lives, y'all. Make sure you in their lives. This going in the long run, man. It's gonna mean something to them. Okay. It's never too late. Don't look at it like you've been out of their life too long. It's never too late to get back in their life, man. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. Yeah. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and end this in 15 minutes, man. We're gonna go ahead and get started with Bambo 2, round 2. First up will be North Carolina A&T versus Alabama A&M. And after that, Southern University versus Talladega. All right. See you then. 15 minutes. Meet me on the 50.